I've been surrounded by cheer my entire life. There is no Madison without cheer. I love it with all my heart. Next to God, it's my first love. There is no better feeling in the world than waking up every day ready to chase my dreams.
Hi, my name is Madison Williams and I love cheerleading. I grew up watching the high school cheerleaders at the school that I just graduated from, and my dad was the football coach there, so every single game day I was standing there in front of them watching the cheerleaders, doing the cheers. I even had a matching uniform. I would know all the cheers. That's how I learned how to spell awesome, because of the cheer. I had pom-poms in my hands at the age of like 2 or 3 that were team issued. I just grew up watching it and I knew I wanted to be like that. With my dad coaching high school sports, he had a whole different perspective about just being an athlete in general. With him having a different view, it kind of showed me I was not going to be handed everything I wanted, and they made sure that I did know that from a young age. And so like I had to be up in the gym practicing, learning these new things in order to grow as an athlete. And then even from 7, 8, 9 years old, I'd come home from practice sore, and he's like, well, that's being an athlete, so use some icy hot, you'll be fine in the morning. And so that's still true to the day. But they were very supportive. And then like with me knowing eventually that I wanted to do this long term, they were really supportive about that.
I remember meeting Madison. She was in middle school. I remember her mom brought her to me when she didn't make the cheer team. And let me just say that was the beginning of something amazing. I feel like ever since that day, Madison has not stopped.
I think not making it made me realize how much I actually wanted it, because since I didn't make it, I knew that it wasn't promised to just be handed to me, and like I knew that I had to work hard to get to that point. And so with me being in the gym, I was in the gym once, twice a week, every week, to get better in general in the spots where I knew I needed to.
Madison is the type of athlete that you have to make leave the gym. She is in the gym all the time, practicing, perfecting, wanting to be better than she was. I just remember thinking, wow, this girl is going to go on to do great things in this field because she is very self-motivated. And like I said, I've been coaching for a very long time, and you do get those athletes sometimes that you have to just constantly push, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Madison is the type where you don't have to push her. She's going to want to do it herself. She's not going to want to leave until she gets a skill. You have to make her leave the gym. She'll text or call me, during the middle of the day, while she's probably still in her high school classes, saying, hey, can I come up to the gym and practice today? And of course, the answer is always yes, because I want to see her do better, get better, and just, seeing her want something so badly and going after it. Like, she definitely has motivated me. I just think she's a wonderful athlete and a huge role model to any future athletes.
I love working with Coach Monica because whenever I did not make it the first year, I worked with her that entire year in order to get better. And as soon as I found out that I made cheer my 8th grade year, I came up to the gym to tell her, because I was so excited, that she helped me get to that huge milestone and really get past that point. So that was really exciting. And even to this day, I'm still working with her all the time. And thankfully, she lets me in the gym as much as I need to practice, because I'm up here almost every day of the week practicing. And so that's a really big, helpful part of this entire journey, because I'm always practicing, always working for better, and it really helps, and I'm glad that she helps me with that.
Tumbling wise, there's something called the full that she does, and she worked, quite a while on that skill and worked very hard on that skill. Shouts out to Coach Ron, who is one of her main tumbling coaches, who helped her to get that skill. Well, it's pretty hard, and we've seen her work on it for a long time, and get it, and lose it, get it back. Hurting her knees and all sorts of things, but you never see her get down about it. She'll get up and say, "Hey, I'll just try it the next time I come in the gym." And you can tell she's struggling. You can tell she wants to be hard on herself, but you never see it on the outside. I can tell because I'm a coach, and again, it's motivating to me because she just pushes through every single time.
Starting off with Coach Ron, he was the first stumbling class I took. I tried and tried and tried to get some of these skills, and the first day I started practice with him, I got the skill I've been working on for months. And just in one day, I got it with him. To this day, I still send him a message with a video like, "Hey, like, I'm doing this. What can I change on it to make it right? What can I do to make it look better?" And then anytime he's in town, I make it a point to come up to the gym so that I can work with him, and it always helps.
The thing that Madison is going to excel at the most is just becoming the best co-ed stunter, and just becoming the best at those skills. Coming from a high school who only recently was able to start stunting, she was with all girl, and I think this past year they did a few co-ed things, but it's in our area, it's not something that was just super popular. We just, began to be able to stunt again. I feel like she's going to make the most of, doing co-ed stunting, and she's really going to thrive in that.
I've known Madison for a while, and it was used to be just like her. She would come to clinic and we recognize her. From being able to stunt with her, now she's currently on a team with me. It's my senior year. It's going to be her first year. So she's one of the few girls I know that will listen, take the correction, but she also understands really how to break skills down.
The very first clinic I went to, I was like, I am not doing it where there's only one person under me. That is so scary. I'm not doing it. And then the next clinic, they were rotating again, and she's like, well, just try it. Like, you're small enough, they can literally just do it. Like, just let them try it. And so they tried it, and like, I was just standing there. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. And he's like, all right, now just put your feet together. And then he just put me to one arm, just like that. And so that was really cool. And it's cool to look back now because it's the same gym that I'm practicing in now versus the very first time I ever co-ed stunted.
So stunt-wise, I would say our one skill that me and her both really want, that we've been working on for a while now, would be a one-to-one, which is a one-handed rewind up to QP. Some of the other stuff, we really just fun stunt. We'll see stuff on TikTok. We're like, oh, let's do a back handspring up to a hand-to-hand, or let's do an extension and pop you to a hand-to-hand, or just stuff you'll see that's very unorthodox that, I think is cool. I think it's cool to learn stuff like that. I would say our best skill is probably our full up. That's a toss to platform with a spin at the top, so your girl does a full spin into your hands. But I would say another really solid skill that me and her have together would be our extended hand-to-hand to QP. So that's a extended hand-to-hand, so your guy's arms are locked out and your girl's in a handstand body position over him with a slight dip to her feet landing in one hand at the top. And I would feel like those are our two cleanest skills we have together. Definitely some of the challenges would be finding time to stunt, injuries, because I know she's had some knee things she's dealing with. I've had shoulder injuries. And actually talking about injuries, Madison actually was the person I dislocated my shoulder with and tore my rotator cuff. So we were at a Troy stunt clinic, and we were doing a very simple skill again, and we did a hand scoopy, so it's a prep to one hand. I let it fall too far over my right side versus keeping it in front of me, and it just popped out of the socket. It's just like one of the things like, oh my gosh, like, look where we're at now.
With the stuff you're having to do, you have to be able to trust those guys because they are throwing you in the air above their head. You could be flipping, you could be spinning, like, you have to trust them to catch you. And because normally you'll have the guy that's throwing you and then a spotter, so that there's two people in charge of making sure you don't fall in case something goes wrong. And you have to trust both of them. Because if you're not trusting them and you're hesitant or worried whenever you're going into that stunt, it will not work. You have got to trust them, and it makes your life a lot easier too. I think personally, getting the new skills and all of the opportunities, all of the people that were involved with that really helps. And I think that was what motivated me the most, is getting the new skills, because there's basically always something new that you can get. Some new combination, a new flip, a new stunt, a new skill in general. So there's always something new you can get, and I kind of strive for that and being able to do these really cool stuff that I looked up to people being able to do whenever I could not hardly do any of those stunts or flips. And now I'm doing stuff that I would look up to. And like, whenever I was a little kid, I would look up to that, and now I'm doing it. So it's really cool.
She knew she wanted to cheer in college, while she was still in high school. And I know while all, high school students were probably having fun and partying, early Saturday mornings, you saw Madison headed to different clinics, just all across the South region, making sure she was prepared, making sure she got in there and was putting in the work. She got offers, just pretty much all over the place. And like I say, it's very motivating to me because she never stopped. I know I would, click on Facebook or Instagram, and I would see her mom or herself, post where she was, and she was always somewhere different every single weekend, up early, making the drive, getting out there just to, put the work in, just to get better. She, got lots of offers from different schools, and she chose to go to South Alabama, go Jags. I'm an alumni of South. So I think we're all just very excited and very happy, that she is, fulfilling her goal. And I see wonderful things happening at South this year.
I was kind of on the fence about choosing South to cheer until it got closer to my senior year, because I realized that I could go to these schools, junior college, for completely free, and the main focus be competition. And that was not my favorite thing about cheer. I loved the game day side and being able to cheer in front of people at football games, basketball games, and being able to like interact with the crowd or go and do appearances and give high fives and hugs to kids. And I personally am better at the preppy, bubbly, happy side. That made my decision on where I wanted to cheer in college. And at South, I can get the competition side, but I can also get the game day side. And being at South, that way my family can come to all of the events, all of the games, and how they were in high school, being able to come to all the games, it'll be the same in college, but just to a bigger spectrum.
From the way we've already started our new season off this year as a whole, as a team, the goals that we have in mind as a team, especially from our coaching staff, we've been able to bring in a lot of new recruits, a lot of talent, a lot of freshman talent, and some transfers. And we're very optimistic for this season. Skills are going to be way harder than last year, and it's just going to be more amped up. There's a goal this year, I would say, in mind. There's a goal to do better than last year, and not just a little bit better either.
So it's hard to even think I even had a hand in anything that she's doing, because everything that she has and is doing, she wanted it, and nothing was going to stop her. I love to watch her practice. I love to watch her set new goals and achieve those goals. And it just really feels good to even say I was a small part of what she has going on, because again, she really does motivate me in everything that she does. I can't wait to watch her these next 4 years as she's cheering and just getting better and better.
cheer. Thanks to my parents, family, friends, coaches, everybody to make this possible. It's been a journey, and